No.
From scrubbing toilets to multiple seven-figure agency. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Story Seller Jet, with another episode of the That's So Fire Talk Show. Let's go, baby. Today, I have an amazing guest in the studio. And as the title says it, like he has an amazing story from growing up in Miami and working and scrubbing toilets and now running a multiple seven-figure agency. So today we are going to be talking about a lot of really cool stuff. Okay, I hope you get your pen and paper and get ready to learn from my guest today. We're going to be talking about SEO. We're going to talk about digital marketing. We're going to talk about AI. We're going to talk about the journey from scrubbing toilet to like actually now running a multiple seven-figure agency. Without further ado, welcome, Christian. Let's go, baby.
Let's go, my brother. Thank you for
Yes.
having me so much, man. It's a pleasure. And this studio is number one, bro. This is insane. Like, if you guys should see what I'm seeing, the whole production. This is awesome. I'm excited to be here. Let's get it.
Let's go. Let's go. By the way, I don't think I've seen any other person that is as well dressed as you all of the time. Like, how many suits do you own?
Honestly, maybe like maybe about 10.
Yeah.
It's something that I've been recently growing as well. We're doing a lot of events and everything like that. And, a big part of success, right, is taking action. And a big part of taking action is, if we reverse engineer it back to how you look is how you feel. How you feel is how you perform. How you perform is the success outcome, right? So, I like to look good, dress good, and feel good. That way I can perform great.
Absolutely. Yeah, the other person that typically is always well dressed is Max Willett as well.
Yes.
Yeah, he's always like on point. I also love suits too. I have 5 or 6 of them, but I need to probably like start like getting some new ones because of the weight changes that's been happening over here too. But
Let's go. You losing some pounds?
I am going to lose some more, so
Let's go.
I'm working on it. So
I have
like I
another
was
suit.
I was probably like 20 pounds heavier than what I am right now, so
Let's
it's starting
go.
to kind of get it down. So I was there, lost a bunch of it, gained some of it, and then now I want to bring it back down again. But
Same.
super excited to have you on the show today. Let's get started by doing a quick introduction of who Christian Den is.
Yes. So originally born and raised in Miami-Dade County. I spent 18 years of my life there and ended up moving, but early childhood, I got introduced to marketing, and that's kind of why I fell into this. My father passed when I was young. I was raised by my mother, single family. She put the whole family team on her back, and then someone who I refer to as my stepdad. He's a father figure in my life growing up. He did the marketing for Bacardi, right? Bacardi Limon, Bacardi O, the Island Breezers, and he would always come home with same bottle, but different shapes. One's a circle, one's a rectangle. One had this label, that label. He did the commercials with Pitbull, and I was like, man, that's super cool. When I was growing up, the creativity behind it and making something come to life, the branding, which is why I decided to go into marketing, and I ended up. I wanted to go to Annapolis. I jumped through a ton of hoops. I had to get a congressional nomination from Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And I too lost a ton of weight, lost 90 pounds just so I can pass that physical requirement.
Really? Wow.
Gained it back. And now we're losing it again. So I'm on that same journey. I got into business, and I stopped working on myself because I was working on the business. But at the end of the day, I caught myself because I realized that's just an excuse, right? It didn't become a priority for me anymore, which is why I didn't eat clean, because there's no excuse for me to eat this that's lean and clean for you versus eating this burger that's not. There's absolutely no excuse.
Yeah.
I was making excuses, and sometimes you just have to have that mindset shift and catch yourself in a lie. And I was like, man, I've been lying to myself this entire time, and look at me now.
Yeah.
So I've recently went down a weight loss journey. But yeah, long story short, didn't get accepted. Went to USF, which is what brought me to this Tampa Bay area. Studied marketing there. I worked at gyms. That's where I scrubbed those toilets. That was my college job, is scrubbing toilets, scrubbing underneath the mats of those showers and everything like that. I had an ex drill sergeant of a boss at Gold's Gym. Ended up getting fired from that job. I wasn't a good fit. I didn't really enjoy it either, but I did that for some time. Then I got into personal training because I found so much fulfillment in helping others lose that weight, man. When you lose weight, and you know this,
Yeah.
it might be a physical accomplishment, but there's this thing called the ripple effect, and it ripples into every single aspect of your life, emotional, right? Spiritually, occupationally. You perform better at work. You feel better when you're talking and having conversations because you have that confidence now. So I wanted to help people do, again, it stems physically, but it just changes every single aspect of your life. And I wanted to help other people do that. So, while I was in college learning marketing and in the early stages of my business, I was personal training to at least put food on the table until the business actually took off. But yeah, there's definitely been a couple of trials and tribulations throughout the journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Earlier too, when we were talking about your upbringing and all of that, um, you were talking about like how you were raised in the Miami area. What
Yeah.
are some of the challenges that you were facing as growing up as well? Can we take a step back and share like your journey
Yeah.
for that, and then we'll kind of dive deep into the conversation as well.
Yeah, I mean, like early childhood, definitely. Like I mentioned, my dad ended up getting sick and passed away. So I was raised because my mom was working so much. Primarily, I was raised by my grandmother, obviously my mother too, but my abuela
Yeah,
is who raised me. And even then, I wasn't the best student. I kind of told you a little bit earlier. I was in the STARS program, and I thought that at the time, I thought the STARS program was for the kids that were excelling. Later on in my life, and when I looked back, I was like, wait a second. I was in the disability classes, so they would always pull me aside, and I was part of this STARS program, but it was for the ones that had a couple of maybe learning disabilities or whatever it may be. Today, we can kind of crush all of that was said by my teachers. I actually had my teachers calling my mom and asking her if I've been tested for learning disabilities and everything like that, because I guess they saw a pattern. No, it was just my ADD, ADHD, and I'm not built to be in a box. Which, when it comes to entrepreneurship, man, everything's out of the box. It's out of the box thinking. It's out of the box activity. It's just, I was a better fit for this than I was, going through school, and I still graduated and did all of that, but. That definitely played a big role in my life and put a little fire under my ass to make sure that I got after it. And, just seeing what my mother's done for our family and taking care of everyone on her own. It's definitely been a big driving force of, me wanting to give back and also show her she did a great job.
Yeah. We've never done this on the podcast before, but I'm gonna take a quick second because you were talking about earlier about your mom. She might want to kind of see that podcast a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick minute, grab your phone, share the unless if it's over there. It's over there. Yeah. No worries. I was gonna ask you to share it to her so she can hear the conversation today, but we can share that to her later. But it's incredible to have amazing mothers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's incredible because that was the same story for me as well.
Yeah.
When I was in I think middle school, my parents decided to enroll me to the best school in our town.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher looked at them and said, "Hey, why are you enrolling him to the best school in town? You're going to be wasting money. He's going to fail out flat." That was my teacher telling my parents that.
Yeah.
And my parents didn't listen. They went to that school, still enrolled me, and did the admissions test. They were selecting 100 students from that school, and I was 105.
No.
And obviously I didn't pass on that. My mom marched to the principal and said, "Hey, you need to accept my son." And they ended up accepting me.
No way.
In the
That's
school.
awesome.
And we graduated with 50 students from that class.
Wow.
Guess who was part of the 50?
You.
Me.
Let's go, baby.
Yes. And guess who the principal called? Shout out to my principal. He's probably watching this, but um, he, I was the last one to be called on the front to receive my diploma because he had some special commendation because of the service and the things that I was able to provide to the school.
Yeah.
That's yeah, awesome. Man, that's an incredible story that you have and kind of something that we shared.
Yeah.
Together here by the power of like great parents, like really doing great things, and for other people to say that either we weren't smart enough or we weren't like focused enough or we were learning with disabilities, but I guess because we are that entrepreneur, that we cannot be fit in the box as you just put it.
No, not at all. I wasn't meant to be in that box.
Yeah, absolutely. So going through that journey of saying that, going through that journey of being put in that box, what are some of the things that this has taught you or has prepared you to be where you are at today?
Yeah, as far as like the early
like the education part of it, like when they put you in the STARS program and that kind of lit fire under you to kind of do that. What are some of the things going through those hardship has like really helped you today?
Well, I will say, even going through like graduating bachelor's in marketing and everything like that, let's talk about school for a second, because I was never a big fan of it or pro school or anything like that. But I did come from a place where, we're a Puerto Rican, Cuban family as well, Puerto Rican, but, weren't the most well off. My grandma came from Puerto Rico to New York, worked in a factory. My mom, growing up in the Bronx, typical Puerto Rican type of family, story of that whole migration and everything like that. She got the straight A's. She got straight A's. She got a scholarship. She worked her way up the corporate ladder, ended up being an actual senior partner at Ernst & Young.
Wow, incredible.
One of the biggest 4 accounting firms in the world, did that for 20 years. So obviously having a parent like that, school was drilled into me because that was her path. Right. And then she had a ton of success and, she wanted me to have a ton of success. So, I barely did it, but I did it and just to get her off of my ass. Now, I will say everything that I've learned when it comes to who I am today, I'll contribute. School taught me how to learn. It gives you structure on how to learn. So if I wanted to go learn SEO, which I didn't learn through school, I did work, did an internship, did some work in corporate, very, very short lived. But I was jumping on YouTube University, learning on YouTube, reading books, learning who's the best at this skill set, who's the best in this industry, and let me buy whatever course or whatever books or whatever it is that they have and learn that way. But having gone to school taught me how to learn and how to be proactive about learning, right? Don't just read it, highlight it. Once you're done highlighting it, go back, make the flashcards, right? I'm a firm believer that you need to hear something 7 times, 7 different ways in order for it to enter our subconscious mind. Because we only operate at the conscious level at what, like 5-10%. Majority of it is your subconscious. So I always try to ingrain something into my subconscious mind. So you act on it without even have to think about it. So school did prepare me to learn everything that I've had to learn as far as running a business goes, and then networking, right? It gave me an opportunity to make some of the best relationships I've had. I met some of my best friends throughout college and throughout my school career. And because of that, I was able to find a mentor that brainwashed me and personal development and made me read books and made me go to personal development events. And that's what built my mindset to be able to, build a business, because you can't build other people. You can't build a business until you build what's in between your ears first.
Absolutely.
So, I will say the networking that I gained from it and the ability to being able to learn, right? Even AI right now, going down wormholes, right? Learning, there's so much and it's evolving. And since we've been sitting here talking, it's changed again, right? That's how quick it's changing. So having that skill set on how to learn something is what I'm applying to learn AI, what I apply to learn SEO, to learn web design, to learn ads, to learn all of these different aspects of marketing that have contributed to our agency today.
Absolutely. So now that you've mentioned your agency, let's do a quick introduction about Lux Digital Marketing. Um, can you share a little bit about what is Lux Digital Marketing? What are your focuses on there, and what's your mission with Lux?
Sure. You know what? We're a full service digital marketing company. Main focus is performance marketing, lead generation, generating leads. That way people can increase their revenue, get found on Google, get found now, which is something that we're honed in on and absolutely crushing it for our clients. It's answer engine optimization, right? We
Wow.
talked a little bit about AI. As of Q2 2025, Google does own 81% of the search market, but ChatGPT's grown to own 9%. And the other 10 is a mix of everything else. But by next year, ChatGPT will be more than 9%. So right now it's such a huge opportunity for businesses to position themselves. Imagine if you started doing search engine optimization when Google first came out.
Yep.
I mean, you'd own that position and be cashing out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, a lot of people still don't even know. A lot of the viewers probably have never even heard of answer engine optimization till just now, which means it's a huge opportunity to dominate the AI searches. So when someone is searching something that's relevant to your service or the product that someone offers, right, being the number one go-to answer on those AI search engines is what we're big focused on right now. But it started off search engine optimization. That's what I've personally done for 15 years now. In 2017, now 8 going on 9 years, we started Lux Digital Marketing. We have a full team, 27 of us in our headquarters, downtown St. Pete. We have web development, so we do web design. If someone needs the front end, right, the digital footprint first, and then once we have all of those digital assets built out, then we come in on the back end and run paid media, whether it be Google, whether it be social media, alongside of answer engine optimization and search engine optimization, because SEO is still relevant. 70-80% of people scroll past ads and go directly to the map, and underneath the map, whenever they Google anything, I'd probably bet $1 million you do too.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, $1 million. Where is it? But most people do. That's the stat. 70-80% of people, everybody will agree that they've scrolled past ads. But our strategy is about dominating the whole entire first page of Google. So we also run Google ads so we can cater to the 20-30%. Now we're coming up in front of 100% of the market, dominating 100% of the market. And now we're coming up multiple times on that first page of Google. And, you know, have you ever seen that movie Focus with Will Smith? Margaret
Bits
Robbie?
and pieces of it, yeah. And I've, all those like small moments that they cut and put on social media as
Yeah.
well. It's incredible, yeah.
So there's this scene, and they go to this football game, and Margaret Robbie and Will Smith, they're making little tiny bets, but they're finessing, right? They're like master con artists, and there's this billionaire that's in the suite with them, and he overhears them. They plan this. He's like, "Hey, I want to place a bet too." And Will Smith's like, "I bet you $1 million. You pick any player on the field, and I'll be able to bet. I'll be able to guess who it is." So he writes down a number, whatever. They put $1 million on the table. The guy takes his binoculars. There's 2 teams, dozens of players on each team. Odds of actually guessing it right, slim to none. Guy says 55. Will Smith had guessed 55, right? So he won the money. Obviously, it was all a setup because all day long he was training this guy's subconscious mind. 55. He's in hotel room, 55. When he drives by, the billboards say 55. The bus said 55. He put people in jerseys, 55, swarmed the guy the entire day. So all day long, this guy is 55, 55. So when he looks, he sees 55. All of that to say, when you dominate the first page of Google and you see Lux Digital Marketing and then Lux Digital Marketing and then Lux Digital Marketing, who do people pick?
Lux
Digital Marketing, right? So that's where we're also playing psychology and that subconscious mind into our marketing strategies, not necessarily just, hey, let's just run ads or let's just do SEO, but there's a combination and the synergy of the services that we provide, which is what gets our clients that high conversion rate as well. And then we funnel it into AI systems that automate the lead nurturing. As we grew, we found problems that we needed to help our clients solve.
Yeah.
SEO is a long-term strategy. We live in a microwave world, microwave mentality. Everybody wants instant gratification. They don't want to wait 3 to 6 months. So we started doing paid, right? Because you pay to play. Now we're paying to be in that position so we can get people the return on their investments in the first 30 days. Then we found the problem wasn't us generating the leads for them. It was, what do they do with the leads after? Well, sometimes, I'll ask someone, hey, what do you do when you send someone a quote? I wait to hear back from them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, you have to follow up. What are you talking about? So we built out automated follow-up systems for our clients. That way they can close more business at a higher percentage, because we saw, we're writing it on a piece of paper, or I just go through my call log and I scroll through my call log. I'm like, dude, if you get enough calls, like, you can't see what your call log was from last week because it's gone. If you're keeping track of your leads by scrolling through your call log, you're doing it wrong.
Doing totally wrong.
What? Everything's slipping through the cracks. Yeah. So we found those needs, and that's why we kept on developing and developing and developing as we wanted to help businesses. And that's my passion, man. I just want to help a ton of people. I want to help a bunch of businesses. I love when I get those text messages from our clients saying, hey, man, like, you changed my life. I had one client in particular, he came up to me, kind of teared up, gave me a hug and said, hey, you changed my life. During COVID, I had to shut down my business in New York. I came down here. We were starting over. Finances, everything was a mess. My marriage was at an all-time low. I was really ready to give up on life. Said, you know what? I'm going to take one more chance on this. Met you guys. You guys built out my whole digital footprint. Crushed it for him. They got the dream house. Their marriage is at an all-time high. He got his dream car, which was a Scat Pack. They're hiring 2 other employees. It's not just him and his wife anymore. Now we're creating more opportunity and putting more food on families' plates because our marketing was able to help this company grow, which was able to employ more and create more opportunity in the world where AI is taking those opportunities away from people. We're creating jobs. We're creating opportunity, and we're helping awesome, genuine people grow.
Yeah.
Which is why I love what we do. There's so many people out there that sell like a BS product or whatever it is. It's like, I feel bad when someone doesn't move forward with us because I know the capability that we have on helping them.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, did I just not communicate the value well enough?
Yeah.
And then I get mad at myself. I'm like, man, if I do a better job at communicating the value, they would have seen it and we would have actually been able to help them.
That's fantastic. And I'm really glad to hear that you're obviously taking that approach too and providing so much value to your client, because that's very rare out there, where a lot of people really they just like focus on like, hey, how can I get that next dollar? Dude. How can I grow, and doing all of that, not really caring or worrying about the results that they would be providing to their clients.
There's an energy. And now some people don't believe in the woo-woo stuff, but there's energies, and that is real. And when you lead with genuinely wanting to help someone solve their problem, and you lead with just providing the best service instead of just looking at everybody and you just see dollar signs floating on top of everybody's head, when you lead with the acts of service and you lead with genuinely wanting to help someone solve their problem, the energy that you radiate, right? The money will come. If you lead with that, the money comes. Don't get me wrong. I am money motivated. I love to live a good lifestyle. The cheap suits, unfortunately, so they cost a little bit of money. So, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it all comes, and I trust the process. And I know that it comes if I lead from a good place, if I lead with service and wanting to genuinely help someone instead of, like you said, hey, how can I make a quick buck?
Yeah, that was one of the biggest lessons that I've learned from Myron Golden. He says, if you lead with value and actually providing value, there's no reason that you can't be wealthy.
100%.
Because if you focus on that, and I've had some other coaches that teaches that to me as well, but if you lead with value and that helps other people grow, they're going to come back. The money will follow for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You shared a lot that we will be unpacking over here. So much that you do for your business. And I've never heard of insert engine marketing before. So I guess I would love to go a little bit deeper on that, and then we'll talk about some of the other stuff. So obviously, this is new with AI developing and doing all of that. You were doing a lot of SEO before.
Mhm.
So for somebody that wants to delve into answer engine marketing, what is the very first thing that they can do to make sure that they are growing with that new technology,
Yeah.
AI?
So it is a very similar approach to SEO, but let's say what we're doing is structuring the blog content a little bit different, right? You go to ChatGPT and you ask it a question. So instead, like, and we're gonna get a little technical here, but this is gonna be game for anybody that's already doing content. One, continuously putting out blog content, right? If someone is searching for now, how long does it rank to, or how long does it take to rank on the top of Google, right? Or whatever it is, whatever it may be, or how to set up a Google Ads account, right? We want to make sure that we're creating content on our website that adds value. That way, when someone asks that question on ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, whatever AI search platform for the sake of all of them, I'm just going to call it ChatGPT moving forward. Um, for ChatGPT, it's going to reference the blog content and it's going to get the answer and then it's going to display it on the answer engine and then cite you as a credible source. So, one of the biggest things that we've done differently is when it comes to blog content, written blog content on the website, the headers that we do are now in a format of a question because AI skims a website. It skims the headers first before it gets into the body of the text and the meat and potatoes. So if it sees, oh, this person just asked this question over here, here's a header of the same question. Let's now get that body and throw it over here and display it and display, Christian Dion or Lux Digital Marketing according to Lux Digital Marketing. Okay, now people are like, who's Lux Digital Marketing? Boom, now they're on our website. Now they're being exposed to our services. And instead of them doing DIY and trying to set up their Google ads, they can work with a professional and actually get it done right, which is the right thing to do, man. I always tell people, like, imagine we've never stepped foot into the gym. And if I go for the first time ever walking into the gym and I work out by myself, I'm going to have a different experience than if I go and work out with a personal trainer. I'm actually going to get a good workout.
Yeah.
Anybody can go and throw $1,000 at Google Ads themselves. But when a professional does it, the money goes a lot further, right? Because they actually know what they're doing, right? This person does it themselves, they might get 10 leads. The person that actually knows what they're doing will get 100 leads. Now you're 10xing your result, but some people don't, they don't want to do the professional route because they want to save money, but they end up spending more money by trying to save money. So we're structuring the content different. We're leading with that Q&A. The FAQs is very important. Any page, any blog that we do, we're now always incorporating FAQs. We're incorporating authority where we're citing who the client is and what the credentials are, because one of the biggest things that AI is looking for is authority. It wants to make sure that it is sourcing authoritative blogs, right? In school, we learned don't give me a Wikipedia source. We want only credible sources, right? Scholarly sources or whatever it was back then. Same thing. ChatGPT is the same way. It only wants to see credible sources, not Wikipedia type sources. So as long as you provide good value, right? It's short, no fluff, right? Keyword stuffing. I've been in this optimization world for 15 years. We used to do black hat SEO where we just put all the keywords. That way it doesn't matter what people search. We have the word on the blog and it comes up. Now the blog might say, like, if you're looking for a tree service, St. Petersburg Tree Service Company is here to serve you for tree services in right? We're just stuffing keywords. Does it sound like it makes sense? No, but we hit all the keywords so we would come up. Now it's looking for no fluff, no keyword stuffing, straight, concise, to the point answers, making sure if it's in the FAQ format, we're citing the authorship. And then there's so much more to get into on the strategy, but I will say SEO and AEO, there is a overlapping, right? The strategies are very similar. We're just structuring the content a little bit differently, sorting the authority and making sure we hit the topic from every single angle. When it comes to, let's say, back pain, man, there's so many ways that people are asking questions when it comes to back pain. So we want to make sure that we hit every single way that someone is searching for back pain or whatever it may be. Joint restoration. We work with a lot of attorneys, medical clinics, so and a contractor. So I'll cite probably a lot of like attorney, medical, or contracting related type services. But it's definitely been something, again, leading with the service. Okay, SEO is ever changing, and then I'm seeing this world now pivoting AI. We're not going to get caught with our pants down. So we hired a specialist that crushes it at answer engine optimization. We put together standard operating procedures. We trained our entire staff on how to execute and created GPTs out of our SOPs as well, so we can run the content through there and make sure that it's optimized properly for the AI searches as well. Because I'm always focused on the service. Develop the service, especially now it's changing so much. We need to make sure we're 10 steps ahead, because if not, like it changes so quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
The companies that don't leverage AI and don't implement it, they're gonna get left behind. That's it, period. Like, we need to be using it.
Yeah, actually, I think that's a really great point over here, and I would like to expand on that. What advice would you give to the people that are trying to make money in the past and not using the technology that they have available today to actually be successful?
Well, I would say just get on it, start doing it. Here's what's happening right now too. The baby boomers, there's a lot of baby boomers that are phasing out, and you got this younger generation that's buying the businesses, and all they're doing is they're taking technology, implementing it, automating processes, automating systems, creating standard operating procedures, putting structure to it. Not the whole let's write handwritten receipts and that kind of crap. Like, they're putting technology and just increasing these businesses' revenue by 20, 30%, decreasing the costs, because now it's automating some of the things that were being done manually that may have cost more, and they're having a ton of success. So that right there, like, all of those people that are doing that should just go to show that, I mean, a lot of them can be doing this themselves. But instead, they're just selling off the business, and then a younger person comes in and does it and blows up this business and 2X's it. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. You shared something extremely powerful earlier. Is the Will Smith focus idea?
Yeah.
So, how do you ensure that you are incorporating or subconsciously putting things about your business in different people's mind?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one, obviously, social media. I'm always, as far as content goes online, social media, I'm very active, which is why it's so important what you do. And every single business needs what you do, because content is so, so important. I'm always in the face every single day. A big thing that I'm big on is sharing the case studies, sharing the success stories, because people want their own success story. People want their own case study. So we share it. I'm on all platforms. We're consistent on all platforms. I'm heavily invested in also running paid on all of them, but we're also pumping out organic content. For the last 8 years, I've been doing it, like, I don't know, a blog a week for the last 8 years consistently, right? Sometimes people go on these sprints and then it dies down. You got to be consistent over a long period of time to have success. That's one of the biggest things, is being consistent in anything you do, right? The gym. If you go for 1 month and you stop for 1 month and you go for 1 month and you don't see the result, but if you're consistent for 90 days, right, 120 days, so on and so forth, you're going to see the result. And then once you start seeing the result, that starts to fuel the next result.
Yeah. So I guess an expansion to that question, what are some of the things that you are doing to ensure that you stay consistent throughout your content creation?
Processes, putting together systems and processes. We have a team, right? Once a month, I go and I sit down and I shotgun all of my topics. I'll do about 20, 30. I think last 3 weeks ago, I did 40 reels. I sat down, different places, different outfits, different whatever, some dressed down, some dressed up, some personal brand, some about my weight loss journey, because recently I think I'm down 35 pounds or so in the last few months. Yeah, man, awesome. It feels great. Doesn't it feel great, dude?
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, now that I'm down that, I'm just like, I want to keep going and keep going and keep going. And I'm going to go for another 15. But putting together a process, putting together, if you need, put together a content calendar, a content schedule. So that way okay, this is everything that I'm going to do. But I sit down, my phone's over there, and I'll in my notes put 30, 40 topics, write them all out, have an idea of what I'm going to say about all of them. And then in one day, I shoot them all. And then we send it off to editing. And then editing is taking care of all of that content, right? So just being consistent, putting together a schedule, putting together a calendar. That way, we're always putting something out.
Yeah. What advice would you give to people watching this about the power of batching content?
The number one reason I hear that people don't do content is what? I don't have time. I don't have time. Well, if you just take one day, a couple of hours, one day out of your entire month, and you just batch all of your content, you're going to be much more efficient, right? The I don't have time is just a limiting belief that people have. You do have 4 hours a month to sit down and just rip, boom, boom. I mean, I think we do it sometimes in 2 hours. I just go. Okay, next topic, check it off. All right, boom, hit, boom. Next topic, okay, go. It can take you 2 hours to have plenty of content where you're posting multiple times a week on all of the social platforms, but you just got to sit down and do it strategically and do it efficiently. Because I will say I would probably have that same limiting belief if I had to do it every single week, multiple times a week, or think about it. I think when people think content, they think, okay, when I want to put this video out, I got to shoot that video right then. Okay, tomorrow, if I'm going to put this video out, I got to shoot. No, batch it. Do it all at once. Be efficient with your time. Knock it all out. Have a couple of different outfits. I'm sure Switch. I saw you had that whole fitting room over there with all of the different outfits. I mean, the setup is insane. I'm going to say that a couple of times throughout this whole podcast.
I appreciate that.
And have different settings, different scenarios where you can switch it up. Nobody knows that I sit there and I do all of my content all in one day, but when they see it, it's like, oh, there's some clips outside wearing that. There's some clips inside doing this, the office setting, the home setting, I'm in the kitchen talking about supplement setting, right? But it's all done in 2 hours once a month, 4 hours max once a month. So I'd say it's super important. It's super efficient. Anybody that says that they don't have time to do content, that's just in your mind. It's a limiting belief. Everybody has the content. Those same people are spending at least 4 hours a month on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
You got 4 hours to do your content.
Absolutely. I absolutely love that. So you have been consistent and kind of posting content regularly. What would you say by being consistent on social media and posting content every day has done for your business?
I'm here. So, for example, I was consistent on posting on social media. Then it got shared. Then I got connected to Vegas, right? Vegas was the one that threw the Brand Social event. I met you at the Brand Social event. Boom, now we're here on this freaking awesome setting here, this podcast, this studio that you guys have. So one, it's a connecting, right? I met someone awesome because I posted, and I met someone that invited me to an event where I met you, and it's like there's a ripple effect, right? We've also generated a ton of business on there. We've also scaled our team through social media and hired through social media, and again, found a lot of clients through social media. So being consistent and posting often, there's so many contributing factors to it that can help people in so many different ways. It's just doing it.
Yeah.
And sometimes until they get to a place where maybe they can have a white glove service, right? I tell people, dude, you can get the Hollyland, the Sharks or the mics. They're $100 on Amazon. You can plug it into your phone. Now everybody's got 4K cinematic. And at least start shooting that shot until you are in a position, if you're not at the time, to do content with a professional where it's like, dude, this is insane again. Where it's a sick setup, right? But, some people handicap themselves from doing content because they think it needs to be perfect. So instead of them just putting something out, they do nothing at all, which is worse than putting half-ass content out. At least At least do that. Go on CapCut, throw a couple automated AI captions on there, maybe put a little bit of sound on the back, whatever. It could be basic. And sometimes those videos hit like crazy, dude.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like to tell people that 80% done is 100% on the shelf.
Yeah.
So like 80% done and posted is way better than 100% it's sitting on your hard drive and not sharing
100%.
sharing it.
Yeah.
Even if it's not perfect, you'll attract more people. You'll get more people
Yeah.
instead of it sitting on your hard drive and nobody sees it at all.
That gets no exposure. At least throwing something out there gets your message out there and gets that exposure out there. And even if you got to do it on that small, 4K cinematic iPhone, $100 mic, boom, plug it into your phone. It's got a receiver. It's so simple. Magnetic mic, right? Again, and then once you are in a situation where you can, you come to a place like this and you get really good quality content.
Absolutely. So you take an omnipresence approach where you do
yeah.
both organic content and also paid media content.
Yeah.
When would you suggest that people need to start like pushing paid media?
Yeah. So I say immediately. Now there's so many different paid media routes, right? Like when people come to us and they're like, "Hey, how much is it?" Well, what's your product? What's your service? Where do you want to go? What do you want to target? What do you want to target? There's so many different moving parts. For someone that's maybe like a clothing brand, we're going to suggest going paid ads on social media and maybe more organic on social media. For the person that's a pest control service, Google. No one's on social media saying, "Man, I hope I scroll until I find a pest control ad today." No. But the people that are Googling for pest control services near me, they need it. There's intent there. So that would be a better fit for them on that platform than being on social media. So it's not one size fits all. It just really depends on what's the product, what's the service, what are the geographic areas, right? For some attorneys too, personal injury attorneys, I may not say go do Google ads. Google ads, bro, for them, it's like $150 to $200 a click.
That is crazy.
Not per lead, per click. You can get 10 clicks, and if no one calls you, you just spend $2,000 for nothing. Right now, for a family attorney where it's $5 a click, I'm going to say, hey, let's run paid ads. Absolutely. Right. So it just really depends. And then also that just depends on what the budget is. Okay, your personal injury, you need a bigger budget. Your family attorney, we can get away with less here. So it just really depends. But I always suggest running paid, whether it be social or Google or YouTube. I always say run it immediately. I think it's great to run. And then eventually, as their budgets scale, as their businesses scale and they scale up their budgets to all of it omni-channel, man. Let's get them through Google. Let's get the people that were looking for pest control near me on Google. They see the ad, 70, 80% don't click. So they scroll. But guess what? We planted a subconscious seed because they saw the brand. Now they go to the map. They see the name again. Boom, subconscious seed number 2. Let's say they click there. All right. Let's say they go to the website. Let's say they leave the website. They'd never bought. Now we're retargeting them on Facebook and Instagram, right? I'm sure you've gone to a website, you leave the website, now you can't get away from these people.
I have 2 of them right now that are constantly getting in front of me every single day.
I know, man. I'm about to buy another pair of cowboy boots. So like omni-channel, right? That's the omni-channel approach. But sometimes, depending on the size of the company and where they're at, a lot may not have the ability to run the omni-channel game plan. So we start small and just what is the best marketing channel? What's in their best interest? Where can we get them their highest return on their investment? Because that's my goal. If I can get you your highest return on your investment, we're going to reinvest that and we're going to scale your marketing strategy. And that's how we're going to help you 2, 3, 4x your business through digital strategies. But, sometimes it's hard for someone to just, hey, let's run Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, organic, AEO, SEO, right? That's a lot,
That's a lot. That's definitely a lot. Talking about digital strategies, what is your best paid ad strategy right now that is crushing it?
I love Google, man. I like Google, and I'm not knocking social media. I am heavily invested. We put multiple 6 figures into it on an annual basis. But on Google, the intent, social media, is a bait and switch tactic. Again, nobody's scrolling like, man, I really need pest control. Let me scroll until I get a pest control ad. No, but sometimes people see it and they're like, you know what? Let me see how much pest control is. Never mind, too much. And I got to sign up for a monthly plan. I don't really want it. But for the person that's on Google seeking it, guess what? They have a problem with pests. That's why they're searching for it. So their intention on actually purchasing is an all-time high. So you're going to get a better conversion rate on the Google ad strategy than you do see on the social media strategy, where you might have to invest more to make the same amount that you do on the Google platform. Again, you can retarget on social media. I'm not knocking social media, but for certain businesses, Google Ads is a better strategy. And here's a really good strategy for local service-based businesses that we're running, is you can now incorporate your Google business profile, or not now, you've always can, but a lot of people don't run this type of ad. You can run your Google business profile as an ad on the top of the map by incorporating your Google business profile location as an asset within your Google Ads campaign. And now we're on the top of the map as a paid ad as well. And then we rank organically on the map anyway. So now we're coming up twice on the map. Paid search ad at the top, paid post on the map, local organic post on the map, and then your organic listing underneath that 5 times. Dude, it's a wrap. We're getting the business.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great strategy. And I like to say, that's so fire, baby.
That one was
That
actually
was a
very
fire.
specific.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Our conversion rate on the ad, there's search ads through Google, and then there's a Google business profile ad that we run it on the map, which people usually skip the search ads, but people will look at the map. And it says, sometimes you'll see it says sponsored, and it's a sponsored business. Sometimes you look at the map and there's 4 businesses instead of 3 businesses. The 4th one is a sponsored post, but a lot of people miss where it says sponsored because it's so discreet and small. It looks like a local listing that's organic, and it gets an amazing conversion rate.
Yeah, I mean, that is a huge secret that you shared right now, because me personally, I didn't even know that you could run this kind of stuff, which is awesome.
Make sure your Google Ads team is doing that. If not, fire them, hire us.
Fire them, hire him. Let me say that. Fire them, hire him. That was awesome. So one thing that I'm always curious about is, for the people that are in the ClickFunnels community, and obviously you have won a ClickFunnels award, what are some of the things that you did to ensure that you made that $1 million to win that Comma Club award?
Yeah, so I will say, actually, the person who helped me get it all set up, because we had already done multiple 7 figures, but Christian, who Gentech, helped me get the award and achieve the award. But regardless, doing the 7 figures, whether it's ClickFunnels or whatever funnels, or Go High Level Funnels, or this funnel, a lot of it came down to just grit and being relentless and being determined and being consistent. And it's all of the things that I learned when I went through my weight loss journey. And that was one of the pivotal moments. My mentor, I at one point said, I was doing this thing, and I was looking at the structure of what sales reps make, because I was now getting into sales. And it says, well, only this percentage of people make, 6 figures or above. And he's like, let me ask you a question, Christian. What percentage of people lose 90 pounds in 1 year? And I was like, shit. After that, I realized I can do anything I want.
Yeah.
As long as I apply all of those different characteristics to it. Literally, I fully believe I can't I can't jump off a building and fly, but I feel like anything that I actually set my mind to, I can achieve it, and I fully believe that, which is big belief, right? Belief in what it is that you offer and belief in yourself. If you have that, dude, you make anything happen.
Absolutely.
Literally.
Yeah. So how did you build that belief system to really help you propel your business forward?
Yeah. The first one, I think that was one of my biggest triggers, him saying that to me. Because, growing up, when pre-diabetic obese, my nickname was Chef Boyardee. At the public school that I went to, they all call me. I also did take Chef Boyardee every day to lunch, so that didn't really help my scenario. But I was also the heavyset kid. So sometimes your confidence isn't at an all-time high or anything like that, which affects your belief in yourself, right? If you don't act in confidence and you don't have that, then you're not going to have that belief in yourself to execute. But that right there, when he told me that, it switched my mentality. And this was someone, Jay Kevorkian, who told me that. And I was like, damn, that was good. One, it was a good close because then I ended up becoming a sales rep for his team, and we ended up, doing a lot together. But more than anything, he contributed. He brainwashed me. He told me, buddy, I'm going to brainwash you, but you're going to want your brain washed. And I think so many people are being brainwashed and they don't even know it with the bullshit that's on social media, on the news and everything like that. You're either getting brainwashed in a negative way or a positive way. Brainwashing has a negative connotation. Some people need their brain washed. Right. And that's what he told me. And I plugged into personal development. And I think it was the personal development that I went to every single month, going to a networking event, or not even networking, but personal development event every single month, reading a new book and doing that consistently for a period of time for years, working with him. It gave me that belief, that personal development, man. Like I said, like I contribute a lot of my success to personal development. I couldn't build my team. I couldn't build a business. You can't build anything if you don't have the right mindset first.
I absolutely love it. And that was very well put as well. Earlier, you mentioned that when you sit down to batch your content, that you also do some personal content that talks about your weight loss journey or that talks about mindset and doing all of that. Why is it so important to not only talk about your business, but to do other like personal content
Sure.
As well?
The biggest part, man, the numbers are in the masses. Not a lot of people own businesses, but a lot of people want to lose weight, but a lot of people want to personally develop, right? When it comes to business owners, that's just small. How many people, not a lot of people they don't care about SEO. A lot of people don't care about digital marketing. But when I say, hey, here's this one product that helped me lose 30 pounds in the last 90 days, one, that's a fire hook. But two, people want to know that. And I can actually reach the masses by talking about these general topics versus the only people that really care about my SEO content or ads content or maybe other business owners or maybe other people in the digital marketing fields. But for the most part, the general population, they don't care.
Yeah.
But they do care about maybe the story. They do care about, going from here to here. They do care about, the weight loss. Oh, what supplements can I take? Right. I was just at a friend's giving and I loved it, man. We talked and we added so much value to each other. And we talked about, I'm taking these mushroom coffees that helped me a ton. Like it's called the Rise, man. I should plug that in. I need a coupon code or something.
It's pretty good.
But it's all of these lion's mane, shiitake. It's all of the mushrooms, which, part of the thing that when I was going down this wormhole, gut health, everything stems from gut health, from our mind, how we feel, our body, sickness, everything stems from gut health. And this helps with that. And then a big part of it was, we're stressed, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, honestly, running a business, it's not easy. It's every single day. Life isn't easy. I always say you're going into something, out of something, you're right in the middle of something, but life is always something, right? So the stress increases your cortisol levels. Your cortisol levels increase retaining that stubborn belly fat. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, if these mushrooms help me with lowering my cortisol levels and help me lower my stress, one, better mood, better focus, better everything, but cut down some fat as well.
Yeah.
Right. So sharing that type of value and stuff like that, people want to know that.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that are generally listen to this that don't own businesses, out of this entire podcast, they probably cared more about what I just said than answer engine optimization.
Yeah. It's very important. And like when you are creating content, if you're solely providing like the business value and don't showcase that human side of you.
Yeah. That part.
I think the human side of you goes even a longer way than actual providing business value because we are in a trust recession. And obviously a lot of people probably have heard that so many times. We are in a trust recession because a lot of people, they position themselves as the guru and kind of say, hey, I'm the man, follow me, and doing all of that. But once you take the human approach, sharing your journey, sharing stories like that, things that are working with you, for you, a lot of people might benefit from that. And because you're providing value to those people, And it's
Mhm.
that rule of reciprocity. Like when you give so much to somebody, they are looking for ways to kind of, really giving back to you. So
Yeah.
when you take that approach and creating those content and providing value outside of business, when they're ready to do the AEO strategy, who are they
Mhm.
going to be thinking about?
Yeah.
Is the person that has been pouring in their life for the longest.
Yeah.
So, and I like to say too, the people that educate their following are the people that basically take over the
Yeah.
market. If you are closing yourself in your business and not being present on social media, nobody's gonna know who you are, and they're gonna choose your competitors that are
Yeah.
doing the podcast, that are doing the other stuff over you any day.
100%.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's a big part why I do the educational content, dude. In digital marketing, you work with companies, and you're probably very familiar with the space because content marketing. We're in marketing,
yeah.
right? Bro, the digital marketing space is such a shady space. 80% of the businesses out there say they can do it. None of them know how to do it. And most of them just outsource it to a team, to another company overseas, whether it be Pakistan, in India, wherever it is that people go. Fiverr, Upwork, it's people here that just outsource it overseas, right? And I will say, before I started the company, let me try one of these Fiverr services. Let me try one of these agencies overseas, these white label agencies. None of them got the good result. None of them did. So that's when I realized I'm going to have to build our team that executes the SOP exactly how I do, because I know my strategy works. I know this works. I've done it, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I need someone to execute the strategy that I do. And that's when I started hiring internally, because I know that route gets the result, and we don't do long term contracts. So the only thing that retains our clients is the result.
100%.
Dude, and we've had people 5, 6, 7, 8 years since we started. So I put out a lot of educational content to one, try to help save people from making a bad decision, but also hopefully teach other marketers how to do it the right way so we can start regaining some credibility to the space. Because again, I speak to so many people and they're like, man, I'm on my fifth marketing company. I've been burned 3 times. My last marketing company stole my website and held it hostage. This happens all day long. And it's just, there's a gray area in the digital marketing space. And that's why I want to kind of put that information out there so people know how to make the right decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned probably like 5 times already standard operating procedures, SOP, which I believe is very important. But why is a standard operating procedure so important and so valuable for any businesses out there?
Yeah. So it's the key to scaling. Having a standard operating procedure is the key to scaling. The key to scaling is to be able to duplicate. And the key to be able to duplicate is having an SOP that you can take someone new, plug them into this, and they'll be able to execute exactly how you do. Without the SOP, you can't duplicate. And without duplication, you can't scale a team and actually have that scalability that someone is looking for. If not, you're just kind of running with your head cut off. So SOPs, that's one of the biggest things that I learned from Arate Syndicate, which is Andy Frisilla and Ed Milet. I was part of their mastermind group. And, I am a person that is ready, fire, then aim. Let's jump and let's grow our wings on the way down. I'm an action taker. And then, we grew. And I'm like, oh, we need systems. We need a system. We need the back end stuff, right? I've never been really big on the analytical side. But then that's where I developed it. I found my weakness and I was like, hey, I'm going to develop this part. And we have, we can take someone, hire a new SEO specialist. We just hired another web designer, but we can take them. We have a standard operating procedure. We got the step-by-steps. We got screen recordings. We got everything. So that person can come in and have a ton of success. One, it looks great as a company when you're hiring employees that you actually have these systems in place, so it looks good as from that standpoint, but also it allows you to be able to scale to
Absolutely.
where you want to be.
Yeah,
Without that, you can't scale.
absolutely. Um, that was very well put. So now let's transition a little bit about like your personal side of things to obviously as a business owner. Um, what was the biggest lesson that you've ever learned from anyone You just mentioned a couple of the people in a couple of mastermind that you've helped. What was the biggest lesson that you've learned from somebody that has
Ooh,
made the
shit.
biggest impact on your life?
Man, dude, that's a tough one. The one biggest thing, I'm going to probably keep going to personal development. Why? Because that doesn't just affect your business life. It affects your personal life. It affects your family. It affects everything. So I think, just being the best version of yourself, being a good human, tapping into your fullest potential, a lot of it stems from personal development, which stems from the Bible, which stems from like just be a good person and do the right thing. So I love that part because we're not limiting it to just this being relevant to business. This is relevant to every single aspect of your life. So I'd probably say personal development for that reason, that it's not just business, right? SOP, then we're just talking business here. Um, but personal development just makes you a better person. And we need more positivity and more love, one love in this world. We really need more of that, especially with the chaos that's going on right now in the world. We're being divided even more and more and more, and that's what certain parties and groups want. We just need more love and we need more unity. And if people are personally developed, right, we'll be more positive. So if we could just get everybody on a personal development ripple effect chain, bro, this world is gonna be changed.
Absolutely. What are some of the things that you are personally doing to improve on your personal development?
Yeah. So I'm actually fired up about this one. I'm doing I'm part of the Maxed Out Mind Mastermind with Max Willett, right? So I joined that group, getting a ton of value. We just spent all day, 8 a.m. to like, I don't know, 7, 8 p.m. or something like that on Saturday, doing a whole deep dive, mastermind, personal development, leadership development, and everything like that. But I met a doctor in there, Dr. Javier, who is a neurolinguistics programming person, right? He is, which is like the Tony Robbins. It's all about unprogramming and leaving all of your past negativity, past traumas, and everything like that, and then reprogramming yourself with the positive and going in the right direction as far as mindset goes. And while personal development has helped me contribute to doing that, I've never had like one of the intensives where you sit down and it's almost like hypnosis, right? You're like hypnotizing yourself. Like all of that stuff doesn't matter. I mean, I don't even know how it goes. I just got signed up this week and we just did our onboarding yesterday. And the next week we do our full deep dive all day Friday and Saturday. And then an 8-week follow-up program. So one, continuously reading books, getting involved in a program like that where it's all about retraining your mindset. And I told them what are the outcomes that I'm looking for after going through this transformation. Plugging into masterminds, getting around people like you where we have good conversations and we speak life into each other and value into each other. Right now going through John Maxwell books, kind of some of them refreshers. I will say, that's one of the biggest things for me towards the end of this year and all throughout next year. I did so much on the personal development in the very beginning with my mentor, and then I started working on the business and I stopped working on myself. And I want to intensively with the most intent work on myself, and that's exactly what I've been doing. And if NLP, neuro linguistic programming, let's go. Mastermind, let's go. These books, let's go. Right. And I'm just taking all out massive action on my personal development again.
Yeah.
Because I want to keep leveling up. You can't build a business unless you build this first. And I want to get to that next level and that next level. So I need to make sure I'm right. I'm good.
Absolutely. I don't know which episode was that, but Dr. Javier was probably like
No
episode
way.
number 40 or something over here.
Oh, awesome.
He's a really fantastic dude. And
He is.
shout
He's
out to
great.
Javier. I actually did see a picture that he posted attending the mastermind with Max
Yep.
last week or something like that. But yeah, we probably chopped it up for like maybe 90 minutes to like a little bit over than that, talking about all the stuff that he's working on. Very knowledgeable, being in the physical therapy world before
Yeah.
and then now transitioning to doing all of that. Like he has so much knowledge, and I'm super excited to hear that you have engaged with him. And
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be the biggest,
I'm pumped.
probably game changer for you as well.
I
So
know.
shout out Javier.
Let's
Let's
go,
go.
baby.
Let's go. So what are, for us as an entrepreneurs, you have to have a routine. You have to have some things that kind of help you with, your foundation to grow. What are your daily routine to ensure that you have the most successful day, or, what are some of the things that you are doing daily to improve on yourself?
Sure. Well, let's go through this morning so far. Woke up, took all of my supplements. I am taking peptides as well. That's helped me a ton. Energy, focus, things like that. So I take some of my peptides, but I take my multivitamin and everything like that. And every single morning I take again, back to gut health. Took my mushroom coffee blend, not the trippy mushrooms, but the the good for your gut health mushrooms. And then also I always take my apple cider vinegar with cayenne, turmeric, all that stuff in there every single morning. And then I went to the gym already. I hit the gym this morning and came back, got ready, and now we're here. So I always like to try to get the gym out of the way first thing in the morning. I feel like I have a better day. I'm a more energized day, and then I fast usually till about noon, right? And I do the intermittent fasting. I only eat between noon and 8. Typically, I try to stay to that. So I do that. One of the biggest things that I like to do, one of my little personal hacks that I always talk about, is keeping my phone on do not disturb. Here's the thing, man, with social media, Facebook, Instagram, everybody's endorphins. Everybody's fiending for a like. Everybody's fiending for a comment. So like we get this false boost of endorphin rush because who liked my photo? Who liked my photo? Someone commented on my stuff. Let me go take a look at it. And it's all fake. It's a fake endorphin. It's a fake rush. It's a fake high. But we get so caught up in that. I used to find myself doing an activity that should have taken me 20 minutes, but it took me an hour because I was so distracted with the notifications and everything like that. So I keep my phone on do not disturb minus work related notifications, right? Our Slack communication channel still comes in, my email still comes in, but someone liking my photo on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or Snap, whatever, all of that I have it silenced. I try to silence the noise. That way I can be most efficient with my time. My thing is I want to be the most efficient. While I'm up, every second I spend wisely, right? And man, I wish we had more time in the day too. So one thing that I am working on and being better at is waking up even earlier every single morning, right? I still woke up early, hit the gym and everything like that. It's still AM and we're here today. We're here right now, but even waking up 2 hours early, because I compound everything in my mind. I compound every single daily discipline. I compound, right? If I take 2 hours a day, I wake up 2 hours a day. I might wake up at 7. So maybe I go to bed a little bit earlier. I'm a night owl. I work late, right? I'm on the computer at 1:00 at night doing my reports, whatever. So I'm going to shift my time around. I'm going to wake up 2 hours earlier where I'm more clear-headed and more efficient, because you're not as efficient when it's like midnight and 1:00 in the morning after a long, full day. But if I wake up 2 hours earlier and I'm up at 5, right, then I got 10 hours a week. Now I got 40 hours a month. Now I got 480 hours a year.
That you can accomplish so much with that.
Oh my God, so much.
Yeah.
That's months. I got months in that I'm now contributing towards success, towards my goals, towards business, towards whatever it may be. So, and a lot of people look at it in a small scale, but when you add it up, it's big, right? It's like, the gym, same thing. When I was personal training back then, Gold's Gym, LA Fitness, I always used to tell everybody it might be a fun size Snickers bar here. It might be a fun size Snickers bar there. Take all them fun size Snicker bars and add them up through the course of the 12 months. How far back did you set yourself from your goal, right? Seems like it's just this in a moment.
Yeah.
But it's a lot when you add it up.
Yeah. But I'm gonna probably cheat though. Like tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna man, we eating good.
We're eating really good tomorrow. By the way, we have gone live for about an hour and 10 minutes over here.
Let's
it's
go.
11:47. So how are you doing on time?
I'm doing good.
Okay, so because I have a few more questions that we can talk more, but if you were good, we probably were, gonna close it out right now and then maybe have a part 2.
Okay.
But if you're good on time, maybe we'll ask you a few more questions.
Let's do this. Can I send out one quick message?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Let's do it.
I want to run it real
So
quick.
let's run over there. Let's go. So if you are now watching this and tuning in, Christian Dean has had a tremendous story from scrubbing toilets to multiple seven-figure company right now, and we've been talking about a lot about digital marketing. If you are just now tuning in, I would highly encourage you to go back and watch a little bit of the things that he shared. He shared some really great strategies about Google marketing, something that I actually did not even know about before. So super valuable things for sure. He's been very successful. So I have a few more questions that we are going to be talking about now. So if you're just now tuning in, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be awesome. All set. Let's go. Let's go. So, what we're going to be talking about now is relating to branding and how has that been so important, to his business, and other things too about the entrepreneurial life. So, welcome back.
Hey.
Let's go. So, you are always so put together, like suits and kind of like you said earlier that you own 10 different suits. Why is it so important to invest in your own personal brand?
Yeah, so I mean, one, internally you feel better, you operate better, but two, you attract, right? You attract what it is that you're looking for when you look the part that you want to be, when you dress like the person that you want to be and want to embody and identify with. We go to these networking events. We just went to the Brand Social, and for me, I love to network. It made it so much easier because I didn't have to go and talk and talk. And so many people were just coming up to me, man, the three-piece suit, man. I love it. The little chain. That's awesome, man. Let's go. It's just naturally you start to attract that. But then, the flip side internally, you feel better. So you perform better and you have a lot more success. So there's like a two-part fold to that, but definitely personal branding is huge. For me, a big thing that I like to do is the car scenes, right? Obviously the green machine, the green Lamborghini, that's my thing. But I got that car one because I've always played with Hot Wheels growing up, and I still got a little green Hot Wheel. I handed it down to my nephew growing up. I had a Hot Wheels suitcase where you
Wow.
open up the suitcase and it's like a bunch of little cars or whatever. And now my nephew Axel, he has it, but that's always been my vice. But even the car, right? It's part of the brand. It allowed me to now have access to certain type of events, and these events, the people that go to those events are the people that have cars like that,
Yeah.
and the people that have cars like that typically own a business, and we offer marketing for businesses. So also things like that have been door openers and vehicles, not literally vehicles, but a vehicle to get in certain types of events and certain types of rooms where, someone looks at that and they're like, oh man, that's a stupid investment. You're going to lose money on it. But I'm not. It's on the contrary, it's actually creating more opportunity for me, and it's paid off 10x.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually funny that you even say that too, because I was introduced via text very briefly, maybe a year ago, to you by my friend Amel,
Yeah.
and but I've seen you around with your green Lamborghini, and on I think it was Thursday or Wednesday when we were at the Brand Social. Shout out to Vega, let's go, baby.
Badass event.
I was standing outside when you pull up with the green Lamborghini, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember this car. I know who was driving that."
Yeah.
And then we went and chatted and doing all of that.
Part of the brand.
Part of the brand. So, what would you say that the green Lamborghini has done for your business?
Man, I think it's opened up a ton of doors. I mean, one of my favorite things to do is go on like these car rallies. Car rally is like, for example, I did Gold Rush Rally. Gold Rush Rally is epic. We went last year. I shipped the car to Beverly Hills. We drove in a wolf pack. It's a wolf pack. We drove from Beverly Hills to Vegas, to Park City, Utah, to Denver, to Vail, then Denver, and all the way up to Chicago. So we're going multi-state. and I mean epic, bro. We had helicopters flying over us, 5, 10 feet, like trick helicopters, rolling with us through the desert, through the mountains, and then the quality of people, the people that go there, you make like it's like you make lifelong friends, people that I consider family today, people that I'm going to celebrate Christmas with this year, and I see once a year at these events, and sometimes travel to go see them, but all that to say, I'm able to go on this supercar rally because I have the supercar, and then I go and make these relationships, and it's natural and it's organic, right? No intent on, hey, let's do business together, but because we end up growing to just really like each other and become best friends and everything like that, then it just so happens that we end up doing business together and create new avenues of opportunity and revenue and everything like that. So it opens up doors. It's definitely for our business. We've gained several clients just from having the car, because we're going to this car event or going to that car event and then making a connection. And again, it's not intentional on like, hey, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get some business out of this car event, but you make a relationship with someone and you end up genuinely, liking each other. And then that conversation ends up organically happening, and we're able to help them too. It's awesome.
Yeah. You talk a lot about when you were growing up, you had that car, and then you visualize the future and saying, hey, one day I'm going to get that car.
I got a good story for this one.
I know you do. That's why I'm headed there. Why is it so important to do that? To have that visualization that you kind of write down your goals and doing all the other stuff.
So one of my favorite verses in the Bible is Proverbs, that those who have no vision will perish.
I'll perish.
Right? So I think, and then something that my stepdad ingrained in me growing up is visualize and then actualize, right? A lot of people are going fast in the wrong direction because they have no vision on where they need to be going, right? Sometimes I saw this quote, which I loved, is like, sometimes people don't need motivation to speed them up in the wrong direction. They just need to set the sail in the right direction, right? Because some people are going fast in the wrong direction. But so talking about like manifesting and having vision, I had this vision board that I did with my best friends, Jordan and Morgan, about 9 years ago, now probably 10 years ago. We did this vision board, posted it on social media. And I know this because the memory came back later. So about last year or a year and a half ago or so, I bought a Rolls Royce 2-door coupe, Wraith, black on black. And within 24 hours of purchasing the car, Facebook Memories comes up and it's my vision board. And I zoom into the vision board. It's a 2-door coupe, black on black, Rolls Royce Wraith. And I'm like, this was the universe telling me, hey, bro, you remember 9-10 years ago when you put this on your vision board, you visualized it, you guys spoke it there in that group, and then you put the action and actualized it after. It was like, I'm get goosebumps underneath when I tell this story because it is so true. I can't make this up. I did this. Like I saw it 9 years ago. I knew exactly that I knew I was going to be there. My mind had already arrived at the destination before my pockets or my body actually did. I was already there. I knew I was going to get there. I just knew it was a matter of time and action. Right?
Absolutely love it.
And it was crazy, man. It was like the same freaking car, black on black, the matte metallic, same thing. It was like identical. It was like I took that picture that I put on my vision board and I just blew it up in real life.
Yeah. And it's also very important that you decided to post it on social media too.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they would be afraid to do that. And now by doing that, and I think this is probably why one of the biggest creators out there right now, do you know who that is? Like he posted a lot of social media content and doing all of that.
Let's see. I mean, shoot.
It started with Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast. Yes, yes, yes.
Mr. Beast, actually, this is something that he did.
Killing it.
He's crushing it. Mr. Beast, when he first started, he did that exact same thing. He created a video for 6 months down the road. 1 year down the road, 5 year down the road, and decided to post all of those videos and schedule them on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So on 6 months, now that video went live and saying, "Oh," the video basically say, "Hey, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen in 6 months. I hope that I get X amount of followers and X amount of I'm
Oh,
growing
that's
and doing all
cool.
of that." And now by year 5 or year 10, for him to accomplish that, like he has blown past all of
Yeah.
that. But he did take the time, record those videos, and actually post it and schedule them ahead of time.
Yeah.
So same thing, like when you visualize that, when you're doing that vision board is very important. My next
Mm-hmm.
question for you: why is it so important to do vision board with your team?
Yeah. So I forgot I told you about that. Yeah, I did a vision board workshop November 14th with our entire team. I want everybody at our company to grow, not just like financially and make money. Some of them are doing six figures, and I love to see that. But I want everybody to become a better person when they step through the doors at Lux. I want everybody to grow. I want everybody to learn. I think it's important for everybody to have vision, and honestly, it creates a different type of team culture, right? Because there's a level of vulnerability when it comes to it. Because a big part of doing the vision board is not just putting it on paper, it's now speaking it into existence. So we sit there and we perform an exercise at the very end where someone has to show, hey, this is what I want. Why do you want that? Right? That way now people are one, 7 times 7 different ways. We're storing it more and more, that repetition in their subconscious mind. But then speaking it out loud, that way now we're holding each other accountable because we know what you want for 2026. We know what you want for 2026. Now we're all aware of each other's goals. And again, some of them, I can say vulnerability because it might be something relationship related, or it might be whatever it might, whatever vision or financial or travel or whatever. We share that with each other, but it's really important to not just like put it on paper, but speak it. And then it makes it more concrete. And because now you're saying it to someone else, you also feel now this obligation that, oh shit, I got to do what I said.
Yeah,
I now told someone I'm going to do this, so I have to actually do it.
absolutely.
Um, so you get that action behind it. So, I mean, a lot of people don't believe in the woo woo stuff. Now, I will say some people, when it comes to manifesting, they sit there and they're like, let me think about it. Let me think about it. Let me think about it. It's not here yet. Let me think about it. Let me think about it. Let me think about it. And that's not manifesting, right? If people think if you think about it, it's going to come true. No, you got to think about it, but you got to also put the action behind it for it to actually happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I truly believe this is extremely important. And what you just said over here kind of triggered something for me as well, because when I was thinking about building this, like that was part of like the vision board. I wanted to create a super cool studio to be able to create content for other people.
You killed it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But one day I took the step in a mastermind. I was doing a presentation and I stood up on there and I said, "Hey guys, in about 6 months, I'm going to do this."
Yeah.
Like that freaked the heck out of me because I knew the expense that was going to come
Yeah.
to actually be investing in this.
Mm-hmm.
But I took the step and did that, and not just kind of, okay, I'm going to be thinking about it, I'm going to be thinking about it, but
Yeah.
actually take a step forward and actually do it and say that I'm going to do it. And now I know in 6 months I'm going to have another presentation in that group. So
Mhm.
I need to work and get it done before the next
Yeah.
6 months, so I can give them that update. So
Yep.
it's very important to do those vision boards, to do this kind of stuff.
100%.
Yeah. So what would you say has been the number one thing that you have done that has contributed to your success?
Um, you know, other than the personal development, my biggest thing is my favorite acronym, AOMA. Say it all day long, every day. All out, massive action. That's it. I think a lot of people kind of sit there and they get that paralysis by analysis, right? They sit there and they think about it and they think about, okay, let me get the perfect game plan together. Okay, let me cross my T's, let me dot the I's. Oh, wait, let me circle this I a little bit more. Let me make this T straighter, and okay, let me go back to this I over here. And they never take action. They literally get paralyzed by analyzing everything. So there's never any forward movement or first step or second step. So I think it's, all out massive action, not just about taking that first step, but doing as much as possible as quick as you can. I'm so big on condensing time frames. I want to, for some people, what takes them 2 years to do, it takes me 2 months to do. I'm just going to do it with intent. I'm going to do it with purpose. I'm going to do it fast, and I'm going to do a lot of whatever it is I have to do, even if that means that weekend I'm working till I wake up, till I go to sleep, right? Because sometimes I have weekends like that where I'm like, you know what, I need to put this in place and I need to do it fast. So I'll sit there and I'll put together, right? A couple of months ago, I did this for our sales academy, internal, right? Anybody that joins our team, we have a whole entire sales academy, sales training, step by step, introduction, how to handle this, how to do this, screen recorded calls. And I took a whole weekend and I just locked myself in my office from the moment that I woke up, grab a cup of coffee, go right into the office, and I start recording. And did that till it was nighttime, right? Then it was time to go to bed. And then I woke up, cup of coffee, back to the office. I did shower in between there, I swear. But for the most part, it was just like all out massive action. For that course that took me 2 days to do, there was planning. There was a day of planning, because I think planning is very important as well. So not to leave that day out. You don't just arrive and then boom, you got 2 days worth of content. But it would take other people months to probably put together the same amount of content and video and everything that I did, and screen recordings and SOPs and everything that I did in literally 2 days. I just wanted it more than I wanted to go out that weekend, and some people want that more.
Yeah.
But for me, we needed it. We needed a good training. We were growing and scaling the sales team at that time. So I needed that, and I needed it now, not in 2 months. So I just did whatever the hell I had to do, and I did it, got it done. And honestly, it's been awesome. That whole sales training program, having people come in and they see it, and some of the feedback that I have gotten from people is like, man, I haven't gone into a company that has this whole entire sales training program and everything like that. So it was definitely worth investing a weekend.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's gonna probably pay dividends over and over and over and over
and over.
Yeah. What are you most excited right now for Lux Digital Marketing?
Yeah, man. So one, I'm stoked for what we're doing on the answer engine optimization, as we've been doing it for some time now. Obviously, this whole AI wave and everything like that hasn't been too prominent until the last 12 months. And again, it's been around for years, but it's been prominent. It's been on the forefront now for like last 12 to 24 months. So we've been doing the answer engine optimization. We're getting so much feedback from the clients. Hey, I closed another deal. I had this 91-year-old. I had one client, the dermatologist. She had a 91-year-old lady on ChatGPT looking up who's the best Mohs surgeon, who's the best dermatologist near me, and everything like that, with best parking, with this, with that. Number one on ChatGPT. The lady came in and got her surgery done, several thousands of dollars, $10K plus surgery in revenue from ChatGPT. So one, continue to serve people on that, but we're also creating I created an AI agent that you can plug into a Google business profile, Moon SEO, and that's a sister company of Lux Digital Marketing. So continuing to scale that, because it's been crushing. 93% of the people that we've plugged this Google business AI agent in, 93% of them ranked top 3 on Google for their product or service in 6 months or less.
Wow.
And then we're talking about like this offers a couple $100, right? So it's kind of like I created it. We talked a little bit about funnels and everything like that. I created it as a downsell initially because I felt bad. What I've noticed is when people can't work with Lux, the alternative is to do nothing. And that's not going to help them get closer to their goal. Again, some of these startups and small businesses, they may not be able to afford your service or my service, not just yet. So I created an offer that still has immense value that will get them a return on their investment. But because it's powered by AI and this agent that we have, and we have less overhead on our end, I'm able to pass that savings on to these business owners, offer them something that gets them a return. I call it kind of like the Lux waiting room. Moon SEO is like, okay, we're going to put you over here and you're going to get your result. And as you see your return on your investment here, let's go ahead and reinvest that and get you on our full service white glove marketing, specifically tailored to you strategy, which is a completely different level of service. Right now we're running ads on different platforms. Now we're creating AI automation systems to nurture their leads on the back end for them. Again, completely different than an AI agent that we just get you top 3 on the map, which still
It's fantastic.
is immense
That's yeah,
value, right?
100%.
I didn't want to create a downsell just to have a downsell. I wanted to still add value.
100%.
That way we can bring them back over to Lux, because I
Yeah.
felt bad. We're telling everybody no, and I am paying for these leads. So I'm like, man, what are we doing here? And we created this, and since then, it's been a good place, and people are getting results on it. So continue to build that, continue to learn about AI, continue to create AI products. We're working on a couple of pretty badass ones. We're creating like, I love sales. We're building out a sales dashboard, commission tracking dashboard, but also gamifying it, where it creates a little bit of friendly competition with leaderboards, number 1, 2, 3, and then incorporating AI that assesses, right, how many calls they've made, how many appointments they've set, how many people have no-showed, how many people that close, and then it shows their trends, and then it puts together an analysis for a sales rep and then emails them on Mondays and Fridays like, hey, for the last week, this is what your numbers look like. It looks like you dropped here in your show up rate on this specific call. So this week, what I suggest is, and now we got AI sales manager, right? That's automatically looking at the KPIs of every single sales rep and telling them what they should be working on for that week based on what they lacked on in the previous week, which is pretty badass. So
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we're doing it for us. Once we fine tune it, we're going to start rolling it out for everybody else and productize it.
Absolutely. What would you say makes Lux Digital Marketing different, and why would somebody choose you guys over your competitor?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when it comes to differentiating factors for us, the biggest one is we actually do the work, right? It's like we do it in-house. It's our strategy. It's a proven strategy. We have the case studies. We have the results. We have the testimonials. We have the reviews. We're Better Business Bureau, A+ accredited. We have a squeaky clean reputation because we do the result. We don't do long-term contracts. All these other companies, 6 to 12-month contract, arm and a leg to try to get out of it. We don't do long-term contracts, right? We're big on communication. Another digital marketing, a lot of people, they'll just export a PDF to you every single month and hope you know what these bars, charts, and graphs even mean. And a lot of people that are business owners, and especially a contractor that's good at roofs or whatever, they're not going to look at this bar chart and know what any of this information means. We jump on calls with our clients. We explain to them what we've been working on, what the result has been, how their organic traffic has grown. We walk them through all of that start to finish, right? So it's a very white glove, good streamlined communication. You're group texted with our team. We create a Slack channel for communication. That way, if they need, hey, I need to change something on the website, they hit the channel. Our web designer's in there. Our SEO specialist is in there. Automation specialist, myself, management. We're all in there. So we have really good communication, which I think is important when it comes to that digital marketing space. I've seen lack of communication.
Yeah.
So I wanted to change that about the industry too. So, I mean, man, there's a lot that makes us different.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just listed a bunch of them right here. As we're closing this, I have 2 or 3 more questions for you. The first one is, what is the number one advice that you would give to anybody that wants to dip their toe in marketing today?
Yeah. Well, I will say one of the biggest things, and I just had someone at a car event ask me this, where would he start? And I told him, probably learn prompt engineering. Prompt engineering. We talked about Myron talking about communication with, God, with yourself, with people, and with AI. Prompt engineering is conversation with AI. How to prompt, how to talk to AI, how to get AI and facilitate it to do what it is that you wanted to execute on. Most people are used to like, hey, what are top 3 things that I can do on whatever, like basic kind of high level type of prompting and asking it. But there's ways that you can get AI to do some insane things, as I'm sure I know you're going down the wormholes, dude. If you prompt it the right way, dude, AI can do some incredible things for you. A lot of people don't even know, like, God, other than asking it a couple of questions, when was Mark Wahlberg born on AI or whatever it is. I think I just looked that up last night when I was watching a Mark Wahlberg movie. That's why I asked it. but there's so many things that you can use it that can make your life so much more easier and efficient, whether you're in business or not. Right? There's so many different applications for it, and a lot of people don't know how to prompt it. So it's learning the language of AI. I think is one of the what's leading to be going to be it's going to be a high demand skill set, and probably right now currently an underrated skill set. I would say if you're looking to get into marketing, answer engine optimization, there's a lot of future in that. And there's a lot of future in prompt engineering and learning AI. I
Yeah.
would say go all in on AI.
Yeah, absolutely. The second one is the entrepreneur journey is extremely hard, a hard dress. I should
Yeah,
have used an easier word. The entrepreneur journey is really hard.
sure.
And one of the most important thing that people needs to do is to master what's happening between those two ears.
Yeah.
What is your advice to build a strong mindset um, to face those big challenges that you might face in your entrepreneur journey?
Yeah. I mean, I will say, dude, and you probably had these days where you can break down, you can cry, you can yell at the top of your lungs. It's overwhelming, it's stressful, you feel like giving up. It's like you feel this weight, the weight of your clients, the weight of your team, the weight of everybody, the expectations that everybody has for you. There's days where I could just break down, but I retrain, I reprogram, right? I change my perspective on everything. Like, okay, man, I'm stressed today. Man, thank God I'm stressed today with all of the opportunity that I have, that I ask God for, that I have today. Thank God I have this overwhelming feeling, because there's other people that are overwhelmed with different types of issues, right? I'm overwhelmed because we're having so much success, right? And it's just reframing and reprogramming my mindset. And it may not be the best way, but that's one way that has helped me a ton, is just always having a different perspective on it. I could be down because I'm overwhelmed, but really I should be happy because I could be not overwhelmed with nothing and have nothing going for me. And that's overwhelming itself because I'm overwhelmed because I got no opportunity and nothing's going for me, right? So like life's hard. Choose your hard, right? And then I've just kind of welcomed that feeling. But from time to time, I check myself and I get back into personal development when I feel myself needing it the most. And that's where I start doing my repetitions again by diving into another book. That's my repetition. For the person getting, wanting to get into it, go all in on personal development. But after that, exercise that mindset, right? Your mind needs those repetitions too. Attend masterminds, attend networking events where they do speak and they do speak life and things like that. Go to church where you do learn personal development or whatever it may be. If you're, depending on what type of religion or spiritual person you are. I mean, I even like Buddhism, dude. Buddhism is awesome. Just be the best version of yourself, dude. Yeah, let's go. I'm Buddhist too, man. Because I cold-heartedly believe that. And there's a lot of, commonalities between all of the religions, and all of them common theme is just be the best version. For the most part is what I've seen. And I haven't studied them all, and I'm not an expert, and I don't really like getting into that whole, this religion for this, that. But I've seen consistently, personal development and what it's quoted in some of these books. It all Bible. It keeps coming back from the same spot.
Yeah.
So, that's why I mentioned that. But personal development and exercising it, especially when you need it, and then sometimes just changing your perspective and having that switch.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned the Bible, because there is so much, and I'm trying to do that. I'm not trying. I'm doing that. Like this morning, I woke up probably like at 5 and did my devotional, reading the Bible and doing all of that. But for those entrepreneurs out there, there's so much truth and so much business principles in the Bible.
Yeah.
If you just like spend a little bit of time in reading and doing all of that, it's fantastic. But so you mentioned books several times during the conversation. What are your top books that has made the biggest impact on your life?
Yeah, my number one that I always like to talk about is A Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. So there's that one, which is very similar to another one that more people have heard of, which is called The Compound Effect.
I love that book.
So Jeff Olson is very similar. One of my favorite analogies out of that book is a bamboo tree. The bamboo tree, for those of you that don't know how it grows, is you have to water it every single day. You plant it, you water it, you go a year, you're watering it every day. You look at after a year, it doesn't grow. After 2 years, you still got to keep watering it every day, by the way. After 2 years, it doesn't grow. Most people, they would have stopped watering it by now. After 3 years, if you're consistently still watering it every day, after 5 years, the bamboo tree sprouts in 4 to 6 weeks about 90 feet. And like 90 feet, dude, in 4 to 6 weeks, it's insane, right? But if you don't water it every single day for 5 years and respect the process, and one of my buddies always says it, I love this. Divorce the outcome, but marry the process, right? Like if you stay emotionally detached from the end result and you just say, man, I just know that I got to water it every day. I know it's going to be there. I'm not worried about when this is going to happen because I know it's going to happen. It's not a matter of when because I already know it's there, right? I just got to stay consistent every day and just water it. And I'm just going to focus on watering it. The problem is people get so pissed off and frustrated when it comes to having success because they're so tied to the end result that it creates more animosity when they don't achieve it. Versus if they focus on the process instead, right? In the gym, man, even that, like you go and hit the gym and you look in the mirror right after and you're like, I look the same. Maybe you got a little pump. You get more discouraged because you're like, I just kicked ass in the gym for 2 hours. I should have a 6-pack right now. And you look in the mirror and you don't have a 6-pack and you feel worse. You feel worse, right? Versus just not. And just respecting that process and knowing that, hey, in 4 months, if I'm consistent, this is going to happen. So let me just focus on the daily disciplines. Like I talked about, it's a fun size Snickers bar here, a fun size Snickers bar there, compounded. It's a massive setback or massive gain. Same thing with every rep that you put into the gym. Same time in sales. Every single time you pick up the call. Don't be attached to closing, right? Be attached to picking up the phone and making your calls because if you make more calls, you set more appointments. If you set more appointments, you will have more deals. But if you're so tied to the deals and closing, you're not respecting the process and focusing on the daily disciplines, which is actually what matters most.
Absolutely. When you were saying that, that was a great analogy, by the way. I love it. When you were saying that, that brought me back to another book that I actually really enjoy. It's Essentialism.
Okay.
And they talk about the domino effect. So the first domino, like when you line up all the dominoes, the first domino is the hardest one to fall.
Yeah.
But by doing the consistent action, the consistent thing every day, knocking away at it every day, knocking away every day, now when it falls, that one domino can topple something twice its size after that. So think about the chain reaction. So they say when you start doing that, by the 7th domino, you can knock something as tall as Mount Everest.
Yeah.
So by like consistently doing all those actions and doing all of this stuff and tackle that first domino, when that starts to fall, now the chain reactions happen.
Yeah.
And you are kind of seeing, the immense success that you've been working on as
100%.
well. So I absolutely love that analogy about the bamboo tree, which is great. So 2 more questions.
Yeah.
This one I always ask at the end of the show, and it's like one of the ones that I ask that to everybody. But what is the $1 million advice that you would give to anybody watching this?
Man, I got the 2, and then again, you're gonna hear the common theme, but it's just because I believe it so much. But the 2 is personal development and all out massive action. And also understanding, 1, respecting the process. God, everything that I mentioned, man, it's so hard to just like number $1 million thing.
Let me rephrase that question. If you lost everything today, what is the number 1 thing that you would do to make $1 million?
Sales. I'd jump into sales because depending on who you are, here's the thing about sales. People want security. They know that in 2 weeks, I'm going to get paid this. And in another 2 weeks, I'm going to get paid this, right? But you're trading time for money there. While in sales, you're creating leverage. Not only that, you're getting paid what you are worth based on your performance. But the problem is, if you don't perform, you don't get paid, which is why sales isn't for everybody. There's too many lazy people in this world. They will never have success in sales. They just don't want it enough. They're not hungry enough. They're not sharky enough. They're not, they just don't want it. So they'll never have success. And that's, we need people to do some of these other jobs out there, right? But in sales, if you are someone that is a go-getter and you perform, you can get paid your value depending on what vehicle you're in. At us, we don't cap our sales reps on what they can make there. Some companies I think may, most of them don't though, but sales lets you reach your fullest potential and get paid what you're valued at and what you're worth. So for me, I would get into sales, right? I mean, I would probably start a company. Let's say that wasn't an option though. Let's say I just had to do one thing and maybe it was just get into sales, whatever sales it may be. I would sell something because I'm confident in my ability to be able to perform, my ability to take action, my ability to condense time frames. I would do sales all day long.
Yeah, and this is so true for any businesses out there too. Sales is the lifeblood of any business. So if you focus on that, my friend Tom Kroll teaches all the time revenue and first position.
Yeah.
So everything that you are doing every single day, make sure that you are focusing on revenue generating activities instead of doing all the other stuff that may not move the needle for you. By doing all of that and you're generating sales, making a profit, all of the other issues that you may have in the business, you will be able to solve them.
Yeah.
So that's why
pay to get them solved.
Pay them to get. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. Like if you make money, now you can hire somebody else to do the things that you are not as strong as. If you make enough money now, you can do all the different kind of stuff. So
I completely agree. It's so funny. So my mom and I, we used to have this debate because she's accounting. She's like, accounting is the most important. I'm like, Mom, if there's no sales and money for you to account for, it's like, is it the most important? Because you need to have money coming in, right? P&L statements, balance sheets, and everything like that. But there's money on there, and money is produced by the sales. So there's no accounting to if there's no money to account for. So I mean, I've always been a sales marketing, but I firmly believe, it is the lifeblood for a business. Absolutely.
So now the last question is for anybody that is watching this right now that wants to, because you've shared so many great value today about digital marketing, about SEO, about AEO, which is a new term for me. For anybody that wants to learn more about your business and how you can help them accelerate their business, how can they get a hold of you and how can they reach out and do business with you?
Yeah, on Instagram it is Christian with a K, Dan. Dan, like Lieutenant Dan. I don't know if anybody knows the Forrest Gump analogy there, but Christian Dan or Lux, Lux marketingcompany.com is our website. But if you guys want to personally get a hold of me, because if you go to the website, my team, you're going to hear from my team. But if you want to, Instagram, Facebook, any of those channels, I think the name's up there. So yeah, just look that up on Instagram or look that up on Facebook and you guys will find me there and you can just go ahead and DM me. I also post a good amount of content. Obviously we talked a lot about content, but I try to add as much value with every single post that I do. So, it's a good platform for people to be able to learn more and grow just by consuming the content as well.
Absolutely. Any parting advice, any parting wisdom you'd like to share?
If you haven't done personal development, get into it. It's what changed my life. And just start taking immediate action, right? If you're not happy with where you are right now, do something about it instead of complaining about it. Don't be a victim, be a victor. You literally have the brush in your hand and you can create the strokes and paint the life that it is that you want. You guys have the ability to, and anybody is capable of getting it done. So if you are in a situation like that, it's up to you to get out of it. So start taking all out massive action and get to your dreams.
Boom. There you have it. So Definitely would highly encourage you guys to go to Christian Den Instagram to connect with him personally, or to go to Lux Digital marketing pages and also their website. Um, Obviously, it's been an hour and 49
No
minutes of
way.
really amazing value. And I know he is doing that consistently on social media. So I would highly encourage you to do that as well. And my goal today, if we impact one person watching this has been totally worth it for
Yep.
me. And like with all the stuff that he shared, I know one person would be impacted. So there you have it, making it a fantastic day. And make sure you eat a lot tomorrow. And we are shooting today. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So hope you have a really amazing week and lots of fun. There you have it. Have a fantastic day. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
It's fire.
Boom. Bow, 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 bow.